Hey guys, Omni here. We are back for Star Wars The Bad Batch, Episode 11, Devil's Deal. No idea what that alludes to just yet, but I'm sure we'll find out. Last week's episode had the team sent off on a mission for Sid to help rescue a separatist diplomat from the Empire as they've encroached on their planet, starting to subjugate their people. And we're seeing that even old enemies are dealing with the same stuff that they were. Coming back around to that, the group doesn't take Omega with them. And during this, there's a whole back and forth about, her not being with the team and being part of the team, and Hunter even like forgetting she's not with them, calling out her name while trying to give orders and stuff. So there's like push and pull about how much they want to actually include Omega in their routine, their missions. On the flip side of that, while Omega is basically being babysat by Sid, they find some common ground in playing Dejarik and gambling, and Omega, being a brilliant strategist, beats pretty much everybody, and just through playing everybody at Sid's bar, earns enough cash to free them of their debt of Sid at the end of the episode, which was pretty interesting. And that's pretty much what Hunter comes back to, realizing that there's more that Omega can kind of add to the group after the fact. We end on them playing a game against each other. If Omega wins, she doesn't set out any more missions going forward. So who knows? We didn't get to see the end of that little space chess match. So who knows? Who knows? We know. Anyway, guys, let's just go ahead and dive into this week's episode, because honestly, there's not a whole lot to talk about last week's. But if you want to, go check out that reaction if you haven't already. But guys, we're going to dive into this episode just like with everything else. If you want the full unedited reaction, it's going to be over on Patreon, or if you become a member here on the channel, get you access to that as well. Guys, let's dive in. Here we go. Devil's Deal. Ryloth?
Despite our new refinery bringing countless jobs to your citizens, they seem troubled by our presence.
Not at all.
Oh, yeah, definitely not.
When I say this partnership is most welcome. Wouldn't you agree, Syndulla?
I will always support that which helps Ryloth.
Do you share your wife's outlook?
After years spent fighting, peace is what is needed. I hope my people will embrace this peace.
Ryloth is safe, Jam. This is what you fought for.
Yes, it is.
Not exactly. Oh, Cham. It'll be okay. Eventually.
With order established throughout the galaxy, the Empire has offered to protect and defend.
We want Syndulla!
My friends, I understand your uneasiness. The one thing we have always done as a people is stand together to defend Ryloth. The clone army came to our aid. They fought with us. They fought for us. And they have earned our respect. I trust them to protect us as they always have. The war has ended. Let us lay down our weapons and focus on Ryloth's future.
Yeah, I mean, clearly not everybody's going to be chill with that.
What a shame your daughter is not here to share in this.
Hera has other interests, Admiral.
We get to see Hera this episode, maybe? I wonder how much time has passed from the first episode of this to where we are currently.
Anything suspicious yet? Let me take a look. I don't know, Chop. Nothing else out of the ordinary. Just a mining facility.
Chop.
I overheard Father say this is only the first location. Uncle Gobi told us to stay and gather intel.
Baby Hera. Shoo.
Sorry about this, General, but they were found inside a restricted zone. I'm in a tough spot, Jam. Between us, things are a little tense at the moment. I won't report this, but it can't happen again.
The Imperial refinery is off limits, Hera. You know that.
I never said we were at the refinery.
I have my ways too. Now then, tell me what you saw. Leave nothing out.
Deets. Give me the deets.
Do you realize what could have happened if this was reported? This is a delicate situation. I will not have you put Hera in the middle of it.
The clones were supposed to leave Ryloth when the war ended.
Nah, you okay.
I will not stand by while more arrive each day.
We agreed to disband when the time came. What was the point of fighting if we cannot accept peace?
I'm telling you, the Imperials are up to something. You just don't want to see it.
Syndulla's fighters will always be loyal to him. They all must be dealt with.
We each have our parts to play, Senator. Be sure to see this through.
Do you still dream of flying?
All the time. Then I can go far from here.
My dream was for a free Ryloth.
Uncle Gobi doesn't think so. He says things are getting worse.
I am well aware of what your uncle thinks.
If we need to fight, I am as capable as anyone. Gobi trusts me to do my part. Why can't you?
That fiery spirit. You remind me of myself at your age. But I want more for you, Hera. Fighting, it takes a toll.
It's just nice seeing all of them again.
We were told this refinery would not be a military facility.
Under the Republic's rule, your planet was vulnerable, but that is no longer the case. The Empire is dedicated to protecting the interests of Ryloth.
I hear Gobi's voice in your thoughts. Don't lose sight of what we're trying to achieve.
I am questioning the cost to achieve it. How can we trust these Imperials?
We need to try. For the sake of Ryloth.
And if the Empire's version of peace is not one we can accept, then what?
This is a simple supply run.
Still, I think I should stay here.
Probably not a good idea to keep getting her involved. She is.
Fly?
Oh, well, there you go. There's your bait.
I guess it will have to wait.
Chop, cover for me! Wait!
Police ship's been tagged.
Great.
Making our approach at 162. What supplies are we here to get?
More weapons.
But we just turned over all our weapons to the Empire.
Not for long.
What are you buying? It's kind of interesting seeing the batch as kind of like the side characters of this episode so far.
Can I have a look inside?
Hunter, can she come aboard? Okay, you can come up. But no funny business. This is the sensor array, and that's the deflector shield. Over there's the nav reader, and this is the hyperdrive.
You sure know a lot about this. Do you fly?
No. Tech won't let me train until I can recite all of the ship's specifications from memory.
Of course.
Only half of it. Flying is... it's about a feeling.
What do you mean?
When I close my eyes and picture myself up there, I feel it. You're free.
So you're a pilot?
No, not yet. But one day.
Come on.
One of the best
I'll
in the
show you my
galaxy.
favorite part of the ship. Up there, that's where I sleep.
You get to live on a starship?
Technically, it's our gunner's mount, but when we are not getting chased or shot at, it's my room.
Who's chasing you?
Have Sid contact me when she has more to sell.
Building an arsenal attracts attention. You better know what you're getting into.
We don't have a choice.
Make a new friend.
She's kind of strange. I like her. Did you know flying's about a feeling?
feeling.
Yeah, shut up, Tech. What's funny is if Crosshair followed him, like, he would have found them.
Isn't that more reason to teach
But
me?
You are persistent.
they didn't go that far.
Go low. Try to lose them.
Man, I love the sound of speeder bikes.
Miss Syndulla, I find your involvement in such matters to be most distressing.
Cham's behind this. She's the proof.
The public won't see it that way. You said it yourself. He has influence over them. And the fact remains, Cham has not committed a crime, but this Syndulla has.
So she's only a child.
I'm clocking 3 of Glee's fighters on the western ridge. Should I take care of them?
No. Let them report back.
Smuggling weapons? What was Hera thinking?
We must speak to Senator Ta immediately. Guilty of treason? They haven't had a trial yet.
Ta will see that they never get one.
Chopper, let's go!
This is escalating not so favorably. I forget.
It's a tank setting for the Narrows.
Is Hauser's chip not working? Because he's pretty flexible
Stay here and wait for my signal.
right now. Oh, I thought he cut his head off. Oh, just knocked his helmet off.
The convoy's been targeted.
It's Syndulla. I knew it. What are you waiting for? Attack!
Yes, sir.
Our comms have been cut.
How could we possibly get around it? Dude, Cham's a badass. Between Clone Wars, this, and Lords of the Sith.
Tell them we surrender.
Surrender? What are you doing?
Keeping us alive, Senator.
For years, I've watched you put your greed and self-interests above Ryloth.
Do something!
He's the one holding the blaster.
And think about what you're doing.
Thank you for playing your part, Senator.
Oh,
Chopper, get Terra out of here! Go!
they gonna frame him?
Arrest these insurgents for the attempted assassination of Ornfrey Tar.
Oh, he just said attempted. Is he gonna take credit for killing Ta? How's that play gonna work?
The Syndulla girl won't get far. Have our forces find her.
Damn. Hot damn. I didn't expect an episode like this, I'm not gonna lie. Like, where the Bad Batch weren't a focus at all, really. They just showed up to drop off some weapons and peace out. They were just a side contact in this one. We got to see Ryloth during this transition, which, you know, with Ryloth, it was definitely going to not be a smooth one. And considering if you've read any of the books, or even seen Rebels, it's just like you definitely know the type of place that Ryloth is, man. They are a resilient people. How much they tried to like stave off any kind of help and involvement, even throughout the Clone Wars. It was not going to be a smooth transition. That's all I'm getting at. seeing a young Hera was really interesting, and like seeing her passion and love of ship before she's ever really flown one. Of course, seeing Chopper again, and Chopper was a droid that took a while for me to like warm up to, because he was just kind of an asshole and just like kept trying to kill Ezra on multiple occasions. So I don't know. I was really happy to see Chopper again too, and just Cham, the whole gang. Just kind of seeing I wonder what Rampart's working on Ryloth. I can't remember exactly if the refineries have come up before or after this. So I guess we'll just have to see. Corey Burton played Gobi, so I'm really interested to see where this goes, because we left on this note following Hera. Are we gonna pick up with Hera next episode as well? I like this episode. How are they gonna frame this publicly to the rest of Ryloth? Because they obviously need to dissuade the public opinion on Cham, which will be difficult. So like, will they just say Cham assassinated Ta, or are they gonna play it up? I don't know. I do think it's kind of funny though that they just wanted to track their course with that beacon, but had they actually followed them to the location, to the weapon drop, Crosshair would have found his gang. So but they just wanted to see what they would do. They came back and they got swept up in all this. Let's see. Is there anything else to say? So I think from this point, like obviously we're seeing the Bad Batch so far, what it seems to be to me, like the show itself and the gang, like their purpose so far, while having their own kind of arc in here, like this main thread of, you know, trying to survive, protect Omega, and deal with Crosshair. That's like kind of their whole thing, is pretty much just surviving. Right now they don't really have much of an end goal in sight, but their purpose and the purpose of the show is showing us the galaxy. That's what I'm gathering from this. I mean, obviously we've been talking about it each episode. One of my favorite things we've been seeing about the show is how the galaxy is reacting and feeling during this transition from the Republic to the Empire, and seeing how that affects the public differently, how we see the Empire getting their claws into everyday life, and how that changes things in the galaxy from the way we've seen it in the days of the Republic. And now we're seeing that same thing on the ground level, and we're seeing through this here, especially on Ryloth, so fitting that it's Ryloth, the early sparks of the rebellion. So I'm curious to see where that goes. Obviously, we already saw some sparks of that, because there are already people fighting against it all. You know, we had Rex, we had Rafa and Trace, who are working for a bigger group who is fighting against the Empire right now. So we're seeing the seeds of what we will come to know in the original trilogy. We're seeing basically between this and the opening episode, getting some early, like, prequel, what's the word I'm looking for? Crumbs, if you will, of Rebels building up, when we had Caleb introduced in that first episode of this season, and hit the fall of Depa, and how his kind of hatred of clones, experience in this war, transitions him to run off. And it'd be interesting if maybe in the next episode we see him meet up with Hera, and she has to flee Ryloth on her own for the first time, steal a ship and get out of there. Who knows? But yeah, I really like seeing this. I think one of my favorite things about this show, and I keep saying it, has been seeing the ground level perspective, like the change in the galaxy, how the Empire's taking over, the things they're doing to manipulate these systems, to manipulate the people, to subjugate the people. It's just, I don't know. I like that stuff. I like how they're diving into that and the world building surrounding it, because it's just an area outside of the novels and stuff, which I'm gonna be honest, like I haven't read a lot of them, but outside of that, you don't really get to see a lot of it. Like if you're one of the people that only just watches the media, because your general public just watches the movies and that's pretty much it, so they don't have any of that. And then you've got maybe the next level which watches, everything like like Clone Wars, Rebels. So you kind of see a little bit of it, but even in those, you never really dive too much into a lot of the groundwork, the everyday life, the in between. Like there's just like this huge gap between the trilogies, unless you start diving through like the printed material. And there's a lot of interesting things that go on. I really like, I just like this period because it's just such an interesting period that's not been heavily explored in a visual way. But I don't know what else to say right now. So guys, I'm going to pass this off to you. Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts down below. We'll carry on the conversation after the video. Before we go, I did want to shout out our channel legends, Bandy Scher, Ryan Karen, and Jason Coleman. Thank you guys so much, as always, for your support. If you want to join our Discord, links to that and all my socials are down in the description of this video. Remember, the full length of the reaction watch along is available over on Patreon. And that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you next week in the next episode of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. May the Force be with you always. Take care, everybody.